right, first one we're going to bring up, of course, is Zscaler, as they're trading higher after the company raises preliminary Q3 revenue guidance from 396 million and 398 million now to 415 million on the low end and 419 million on the high end. So you guys see Zscaler up here, and also, of course, affecting other cybersecurity stocks.
Are you
Let's take a look.
kidding me? Is what I'm just like up 20% because they raised revenue 6%.
There you go. That's
I mean,
exactly
this
what
is
I
just
was saying.
shows you there's some stuff that's so beat up. When it says any piece of good news, they buy hand over fist. And Zscaler has been the dog of all dogs. It's been straight down for 2 years, has not participated in any of the recent rally. And it just says a hint of good news. They're like, whoa, we forgot about this one. So, I mean, I'm not saying you come in here and you short it because it's so beat up, but just showing you expectations for some of these companies are absolutely in the gutter. And they raise our revenue just the slightest little bit. It's
Not
like, oh
that
my
big. That's
goodness.
exactly what I was thinking.
352 a year and a half ago, $89. I mean, this stock has not participated in any type of a rally that we've had. So, I mean, now all of a sudden it's like it's back and, and you're seeing it. But again, bag holder central everywhere here. So I'm not chasing any stock up 20%. This is a revenue raise, but it's not even a big one. Wow. Just, shocking that they're buying it up that much. But again, just shows how beat up it was, I guess.
$4 off that pre-market high at 111.62. I wish I had a daily level that coincided with that. I don't. So if you get through that 111.62, your next daily high comes in at 113.31. But man, when you get these big moves like this and then you back off, you really got to catch a bid early in a strong bid. Right now, there's mild intraday support at 106. But man, exactly when Mitch was reading those numbers, and I'm like, come on. I mean, is that, do you add that much in market cap for that kind of news? Well, that's what they're doing.
We'll see what happens there. And of course, just to point to it, you see Snow up big on this. You see Pan W showing up on the scanner. You see CrowdStrike showing up on the scanner. So definitely they're getting a little bit of some push off that backing. We can keep going through some other names here. There's ALB showing up. What do you think about this one, Dennis?
Well, you know what I think about it? I think it's ridiculously undervalued. But again, it's ridiculously out of favor too. And they say good stuff and they have a good report and people ignore it. They just don't care. This thing's trading like 9 times earnings. Again, it's cyclical, so you have to remember that. But the earnings they reported was just fantastic. $10.32 versus a $7.03 estimate. This company is just a printing press right now. And again, you think you got to know the revenue, the sales were, so the quarter was excellent, but the sales guidance wasn't great. So, is it, in the best world it can be right now? Maybe lithium's going to start to slow, but I still think lithium is going to be a big part of the future. As much as, I believe in AI, I also believe in EV as well. And lithium's going to be there. Albemarle, one of the biggest producers in the world of lithium. I'm long. I'm wrong. I've been wrong. I think I eventually will be right on this, though. So it's in the long-term portfolio, not looking at it. I think eventually I'm going to be right on this. I think it's going to take some time, though.
Not a lot of cues. I mean, traded 12,000 shares, trading near the highs of the pre-market session. 186.60 is your pre-market high. This one looks a little different to me. As far as if I was going to chase one, it would probably be this one as opposed to the Zscaler. Next potential target on the upside would be 188.56. And the other thing about this one, if you don't like gaps and everything, and you think this is a good move, you had a pair of highs at 185 the last 2 sessions. So if you come back to there, potential support. Unfortunately, the close is way down at 179.70.
Looks like, where was it? It was just there, but it looks like it disappeared on me now. I was going to talk about Chipotle because it looked like the burritos were strong there, but I don't know, man. It just seems like that stock doesn't want to go away.
Never goes away.
Yeah, never. I would never fight this. This is one of those I just don't fight. Yeah,
there's the Nvidia, CMG. They're just in a level of their own. Investors want to own them forever. They give them 2 or 3 times the multiple of other stocks. I mean, what's CMG trading? 50 times earnings, 55 times earnings. Again, fantastic company. I've never been able to wrap my head around the valuation, but I missed the whole thing because of that. So sometimes I guess you just got to ignore it.
Yeah, that's the hard part right there, right? Now, would you be taking shots in a WAL? Bum, bum,
No,
Yeah.
none of these.
None
No,
of these, right?
none of these.
I'm no touch on
If
these,
anything, I'd
but
play them from the short side. But you're not supposed to. I don't like you saying anything about shorting the banks. They're talking about, White House rumors talking about getting rid of short selling on banks. I mean, again, I think it makes it more efficient. This is a big pop for WAL. I mean, is it imminent? But it's come all the way back up to where you have all this memory, 35 to 40.
yeah,
If you were so lucky, and that all it is luck to buy this at 11 or 12 or 15 or 18, and it's just tripled in 2 days, I think you're taking the money and running. So yeah, I would be out of WAL. I would be selling it. That's just my opinion. I may be wrong. Maybe all these banks are eventually going to be back to all-time highs, and I hope that's the case. And you know what? If this subsides, the regional banks, if there's no more bank runs, no more bank failures, 5 years from now, these stocks may be back there, but they're not coming back here tomorrow. And I think if you're thinking 31 to 60 to 80 in this year, I don't think so. I think you're going to run into trouble here soon on WAL and PACW because you're just getting back up to where we just fell from. So you're getting all those losses back. So the people who are in these stocks at 40, at 38, at 37, and they just watched go to 11 in 3 days, like, oh my goodness. And they are thanking everyone right now that this stock has come back and given me my money back. So I mean, at 35 to 40, Joel, there is so many people who were underwater. Everybody who bought for the last 2 months got hammered 2 days ago. They're getting all their money back.
yeah.
I'd be selling it.
33.30s. This one looks a little stronger as far as like a bid out there. You're just you stuck over 32, but keep your eye on the pre-market high. And if you're looking for another target on that one, I don't know about that 35 to 40 area today, but your 3-day highs at 33.30. That definitely is a potential target on the upside.
All right, team. I do want to take a quick look at the net change down. And with this one, I'll just mention at the top here, I have MSTR. You guys are seeing some Bitcoin stocks down, coin also down big here. And it seems like there's some battle going on in cryptocurrency. There was over the weekend kind of issues that were going on with Binance. They halted Bitcoin withdrawals for several hours on Monday, citing heavy volumes and surge in processing fees before clearing them at a higher cost. So just be careful out there, team. We could see maybe some continued downside. It wasn't that big of a hit in Bitcoin overall. I think I saw it down about like 1%, a little bit more than that maybe.
A lot now.
We'll see. We'll see if this continues to leak, and will it start to show up in maybe tech stocks? We know how this has been correlated, but we'll have to wait and find out.
Bitcoin has had this huge lift because of the regional banking crisis. I don't know if the regional banking crisis is over. Nobody knows if it's over or not. It's impossible to tell, but they've bounced. And don't kid yourself. The sell for Bitcoin was Friday because it was bouncing with the regional banks, which made 0 sense. I mean, the Bitcoin has been up because of the regional banks. That is why Bitcoin has rallied. Again, a little bit, early 2023 wasn't the case. But this rally from March, mid-March up to, this rally of the last $5,000 worth of Bitcoin or $7,000 worth of Bitcoin is all because of the regional banks. People fleeing out of there and saying, oh my goodness, the crypto people might be right. I better buy Bitcoin. And now if the regional banks stabilize, that is not good news for Bitcoin here. Again, we don't know. If the regional banks start to get into trouble here again, which might happen, Bitcoin will start to catch a bid. So just keep an eye on that inverse relationship between Bitcoin and the regional banks. This Binance is obviously knocking it down here today. 16, if you're lucky to trading the BITO, 16 is a huge level. It's there right now. It's a huge level. It's got us hold that. If it gives that, then you start thinking about 14 again. But I think the regional banks are going to dictate the next move for Bitcoin here again, unless this Binance headlines start to get worse, or there's always the risk, if there's some individual headlines to Bitcoin like the Binance. But overall, there's a lot of people hiding in Bitcoin right now that were scared of the regional banks. I was, one of them. Not necessarily hiding it, but talking, and trading Bitcoin